if you go through Xi Jinping's speeches and writings within Chinese media by Chinese analysts and scholars, what you will see is that the worldview that they're articulating is one where there is tremendous turbulence and change. There is a shift in the balance of power in favor of China or towards the East. Xi Jinping specifically talks about four deficits that the world is facing. These are development, peace, governance, and trust. And he talks about while self-reliance is important for China in many ways, it also needs to be globally engaged. So there is a sense of opportunity that you need to be globally engaged to grow and to develop. At the same time, you need to sort of guard yourself in a world which is increasingly struggling because of these four deficits. If you think of these three initiatives that you mentioned, GDI, GSI, and GCI, they directly correlate to at least three of the deficits that Xi Jinping talks about, which sort of tells you that the timing is not necessarily ad hoc or random, but it is thought through. The branding perhaps has taken much more time, but it's thought through. GDI responds to the development deficit, GSI responds to the peace deficit, and GCI, the Global Civilization Initiative, responds to the trust deficit. There is nothing so far on governance, and I'm not sure if whether we'll get another one. But these three are therefore in that context. And the answer, why are they articulated in such a way? Firstly, it's important to keep in mind that the word global is used over there. So it's not about a regional, local vision. It's about a global vision. And that's because Xi Jinping sees the world through two prisms. There is an opportunities prism, there's a threat prism. The opportunity prism is quite clear. China has greater legitimacy and capacity. The system has greater legitimacy and capacity. There is a relative weakness of the US compared to the past, and there is tremendous anxiety among middle powers who are also engaging in their own form of adventurism, trying to find their own strategic autonomy. And there is tremendous fissures and polarization in democracies around the world. There's an erosion in the idea that there are values which are universal, and that's fundamentally linked to a waning of American power. So that's your opportunity. Try and shape the kind of world that you want to shape. Your threats are the fact that the US, Beijing believes that the US is trying to implement a strategy of containment, and therefore you need to push forward to break through that. You are worried about middle powers bandwagoning in the US to counterbalance against China. Therefore, you need to provide certain propositions along with certain threats. And finally, you're worried that there could be some sort of, while democracies and universal values may be in decline or in retreat, you're worried that there could be a renewed sort of ideological conflict. And therefore, you're trying to offer some sort of an ideological worldview which is different from what, say, the US is presenting. So I locate these three initiatives within this framework of threats and opportunities that the leadership looks at the world.